Let's talk about Auss paralysis. It is an injury of upper trunk of brachial plexus. In brachial plexus, there is a point which is known as Auss point, at which the six nerves meet. What are the six nerves? The first one is coming from C5 root, second one is coming from C6 root, third is suprascapular nerve, fourth is nerve subclavius, fifth is anterior ventral division of upper trunk, and the last sixth one is posterior and dorsal division of upper trunk. So these are the six nerves which are meets at point which is known as Auss point, and if there is an injury at this point, then there will be an Auss paralysis. And in this paralysis there are two nerve roots involved, C5 and C6, in which C5 is mainly involved and C6 is partly involved. So this is about Auss paralysis. Let's talk about its causes. So what are the causes? So basically what happened in this injury, there is an undue separation or excessive separation of neck from shoulder, and this separation mainly occurs in or common in birth injury, fall on shoulder, and during anesthesia. So these are the common causes of this Auss paralysis. Let's talk about the muscles involved, the main muscles involved in this injury. There are four muscles involved. What are the four muscles? We have a mnemonic D triple B. David have three brothers, so 3B, in which first B stands for biceps brachii, second B stands for brachialis, third B stands for brachioradialis, and the D stands for deltoid muscle. So these all are the four muscles which are mainly involved in this injury. What the action of these muscles? These biceps, brachialis and brachioradialis, these muscles helps in the flexion of forearm, and biceps is the main supinator of forearm, and deltoid is abductor of arm. It helps in abduction of the arm. So this is the action of these muscles. There are some muscles which are partly involved in this injury, and these muscles are sits, in which S stands for supraspinatus, I stands for infraspinatus, T stands for teres minor, and S stands for supinator. So action of these muscles are: supraspinatus helps in abduction of arm, infraspinatus and teres minor helps in lateral rotation of arm, last supinator helps in supination of forearm. So these all are the actions, and after the injury these actions will be affected. Person will not be able to perform these actions properly, and the main muscles involved, the triple B and D, these actions will be totally affected. So there will be a deformity which is known as policeman tip hand deformity or waiter's tip deformity, so in which arm will be adducted and medially rotated and forearm will be extended and pronated. So this is the deformity. And one more thing, the biceps and supinator jerks are lost, and sensation is also lost over a small area over the lower part of deltoid. So this is about Auss paralysis. Now we will talk about Klumpke's paralysis. It is an injury of lower trunk of the brachial plexus, and in lower trunk of brachial plexus there are two nerve roots, C8 and T1, in which T1 is mainly involved and C8 is partly involved. So this is about Klumpke's paralysis. And let's talk about causes. So what are the causes? Undue excessive separation of arm from chest or trunk leads to overstretching of lower trunk. And one more thing, as clutching something with the hands after a fall from height. So this is also a cause, and it is also common in birth injury. So these are the common causes of the Klumpke's paralysis. Let's talk about muscles affected. As we talked earlier, T1 mainly involved, and T1 supplies the lumbricals and interossei, which are help in flexion at metacarpophalangeal joint, extension at interphalangeal joint, and C8 is partly involved, which is ulnar flexor of wrist and fingers. So if there is an injury at lower trunk of the brachial plexus, then there will be a Klumpke's paralysis. and after the injury person will unable to do these functions, so the deformity will be complete claw hand. So the deformity or the action of the metacarpophalangeal joint and interphalangeal joint will be opposite to this. The extension at MCP joint, metacarpophalangeal joint, and flexion at interphalangeal joint. There are some more disabilities in which there is sensory loss over medial aspect of forearm and hand. And another one is Horner syndrome, in which there is ptosis, meiosis, anhidrosis, anophthalmosis, and loss of ciliospinal reflex. Ptosis is drooping of eyelid. Meiosis is excessive constriction of pupil. Anhidrosis means decreased sweating. Anophthalmos means posterior displacement of eyeball in orbit. And there are some vasomotor and tropic changes also, in which there is a vasodilation of the arteries of this area, due to which the skin will be warmer. And we talked in Horner syndrome there is decrease in sweating. Due to this, skin will be dry and scaly, which leads to atrophy of pulp of fingers, which results in cracking of nails. So this is about the Klumpke's paralysis.